But Jim, the excitement continues here. And we have something that, as we are recording, a lot of the listeners are sending in to us from the latest issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Oh, boy.
From Dave Meltzer. In an article... Oh, no, this is from the AEW section, apparently. Let me read this verbatim, see what you think. When we mentioned last week about morale being the best it has been in a long time, it was noted that the talent is getting along more than it has. But with so many wrestlers under contract, and only so many that can be pushed, inherently, there's going to be frustration. Because most on the roster are not people, excuse me. Because most on the roster are not people just happy to not show their stuff and perform just because they're making good money.
Would he please stop strangling the English language and make a point? Say that again a little slower.
Inherently, there is going to be frustration because most on the roster are not people just happy to not show their stuff and perform just because they are making good money. There are exceptions to that rule, but when you put together a roster of high-level performers, they are going to want
when
to
you
perform.
Do, let me know.
I'd
like to see that company.
They are going to want to perform. There is also frustration from a lot of circles.
Wait, hold on before you continue with it, because I don't want to lose a couple of the points that I was going to make. First of all, so last week he reported that morale is better than it's ever been, and this week he's reporting except for the people who are really fucking pissed off about the way they're being used. Is that the Reader's Digest version, as they used to say, of that first paragraph? And also, where does he get this? Yes, Tony has too many people on his roster. I don't think he doesn't have too many stars. He doesn't have too many top talents. He has too many people. But if they're getting paid, most of them should consider it a gift, whether they're wrestling or not. And yes, they should be doing what they are fucking told instead of bitching about whether or not they're on television. But I agree, there are way too many of them, and most of them shouldn't be there because a lot of them are the shits. But, okay, go ahead.
Once again, this is the follow-up to morale's at an all-time high. There is also frustration from a lot of circles since talent comes to the shows and sees the smaller crowd since the start of the year. Khan always paints a positive picture about the company being stronger due to increased revenues or bringing up ratings, and there's the feeling that popularity is declining overall and changes have to be made to turn it around, and he's acting like everything is fine.
So, again, the second part of the follow-up to last week's morale is at an all-time high is that the boys know that the captain of the ship is fucking lost his mind and his compass and doesn't know where they're fucking going, and overall popularity of the company is declining. And we can see it every week because the crowds are getting smaller. But he thinks everything's okay. I think maybe it was better in the fucking Attitude Era when the guys didn't get along, but they sold out all the buildings rather than everybody's fucking friendly as punched as pleased and they can't fucking sell a ticket.
Yeah, everyone in the locker room gets along, just they get to now put all their frustration on Tony. There's no diversions. There's no one on the side there like, oh, it's Punk, it's Cody, it's Cornette, it's whoever. At this point, everyone there is buddies. All their own stuff is getting on TV. Whoever reported to Dave that morale's at all-time high obviously triggered someone else saying, whoa, back up, Dave.
Eesh.
Let me talk to you off the record. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well,
go ahead.
They cut the cancer out and found out that was the only interesting part of the patient.
I guess this kind of ties into it in terms of morale. And it answers some questions to us. This is also from The Observer. As noted before, the deal with CMLL is that on any television show that their talent appears on, no other Mexican wrestlers can appear. It doesn't matter if they work for AAA or not, or did in the past. It's no other Mexican wrestlers can appear. Some of the prior Mexican talent is mad that Tony Khan agreed to those terms.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on here. Now, and what about if the guy's Mexican, but he happens to, currently he's living in fucking Phoenix or whatever, and he's,
Is he a CMLL wrestler?
Well, is it retroactive to forever? No, it's for the other fucking guy. If a CMLL wrestler is on the show, no other Mexican wrestlers can be on the show. Does that mean like a guy that wrestled in Mexico years ago and he's Mexican, but now he happens to be here full time and they just thought they'd book him? Oh, no. He's from Guadalajara. What the fuck? But besides that, why would you agree to so? How many Mexican promotions does he have to work with? And why couldn't he just say, okay, I'll work with CMLL or I'll work with AAA? Don't they have enough wrestlers? He can't get all the Mexican wrestlers he needs from one company. He's got to jump through hoops with made up stipulations to get in the way of shit just to have, what was the guy's name? Hecaharo and
Hechicero.
Wherever the fuck.
Or Hechicero, one of the other. One or the other. Not one of the other. One or.
Whoever it may be. What the fuck is going on here?
Well, let me explain. And it's always good to dive headfirst into the lucha libre political wrestling world. Some of the prior Mexican talent is mad that Tony Khan agreed to those terms, noting that AAA never made a demand like that for AEW to not feature CMLL talent, even though they were warring in Mexico. We do know, at the start, that Tony Khan's vision was to work with everyone, and in the early days, CMLL didn't allow its talent to go there because they were working with AAA, and New Japan didn't work with them under their previous president. It was noted that Penta and Phoenix were in AEW from day one in particular, and the feeling it's disrespectful to them. And there would be shows, including perhaps multiple pay-per-views this year, including any pay-per-view anyone from CMLL is booked on, that they couldn't even be allowed on the show. Previously, it was just Forbidden Door. There was an incident with Penta coming off the Jericho cruise, where he stayed for Dynamite as he was under the belief that he was booked on, and was there only to find out he couldn't appear on the show because they had booked CMLL guys for both Dynamite and Rampage. So again, I think this falls under the AEW drama. Penta and Phoenix, they've been there since like the first episode. Now all of a sudden they can't be booked on any of the shows these guys are on.
But what difference does it make if it's not in the same fucking country? When in Japan, when Baba would bring guys in from working for Vern, they'd be partnered up with guys working for Crockett. And sometimes promoters that weren't necessarily friendly with each other, guys would be working together over there because nobody fucking, it didn't matter. So
it matters to CMLL.
But if they can get their guys extra work and extra exposure on television and extra payoffs, even if the show is a rotten fucking wrestling show, what difference does it make unless Tony's going to run Mexico?
Tony's trying to bring people together.
Oh,
unite nations and people. All continental or all Atlantic, but also countries on the Pacific as well.
Well, and there's some that are on both sides.
So AEW drama gets reported that morale's at an all-time high, and I'm sure it is. It's all friends that are left.
I don't know. I believe there might be a few non-friends that are contracts may be still in effect that are laying low, but